Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning.
How's it going today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good.
Do you or your partner play instruments?
Oh, yes, this is our music room. I'm a singer and my husband plays the banjo and the guitar and I play a little ukulele. But yes, this is our music room
Nice.
slash slash office slash dog room slash trash pit. This is where all the things are. I'm just showing you the pretty part.
That's fair. It's totally fair.
Yeah.
You and the room look great in this particular
This
rectangle.
is the area you're allowed to see.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you everyone for joining 10 Minutes with 52. My name is Elaine Shea. I'm the Community Engagement Manager. I'm so excited to have Rachel Coddington here today. She is the Managing Director of Design Portland, who is in charge of Design Week. I kind of want to give everybody the opportunity to learn more about the origin of Design Week Portland and kind of your pivot to Design Portland.
Oh yeah. Okay, great. So Design Week Portland has historically been this festival that is, it's very distributed. It's a collection of events across the city. We have grown from our very first year, we had about 100 participants as far as events, 100 events. Which was crazy for a first year. They, Saley Pines and Eric Hillerns kind of looked across the landscape and said, there's so much going on. We could share audiences, we could share PR efforts, we could share this like energy. And so they put it together and it was just gangbusters. That first year was crazy. It was so good. So they grew from there. The first year was about 100 people and about, couple thousand attendees. But then since then it's grown every year, just steadily grown and grown. And last year we had over 350 events citywide, and then close to 9,000 attendees. So it's so cool. Portland is such a design city anyway, but the idea that all of these people across disciplines open their doors and host all of this programming in one concentrated period of time is it's so cool. So I didn't really realize I've been volunteering for Design Week for probably, 5 years now at this point, 6 years. I don't even know. What is time? Nobody knows. But as time has gone on, I'm now an official employee. I'm the managing director of Design Week. But my point is, I've been volunteering for a long time before I even really got an understanding of the depth and the breadth of the programming. But last year I really got a chance to see that. And it is so diverse. There's so much to process and see, and there are so many different kinds of events, like workshops and talks and just experiences. Some people just have these great things that you can walk through and enjoy visually, and there's just so many different types, but then also across so many disciplines, so many different design disciplines, that really, once you get all of those vectors crossing, there's kind of something for everyone. It sounds really corny, but there were places I could take my kids last year. There were places I could bring my parents who don't know anything about design, and they could have an enjoyable experience. So it's not just for design pros or students, there's really quite a bit of programming. So anyway, that's the history of Design Week. But as time has gone on, we've really realized that kind of with that deep organization of the whole community, like the fact that we're able to bring people together in that way, that there's sort of a responsibility to do more. And that, we've done efforts around civic engagement, things with the city. We've done efforts around education. We do things a lot with bringing different pieces of the community together, doing like cross sections. But what we felt like we could provide even more so was a more steady cadence. As you can imagine, with 350 events, people are always saying like, too much is going on. Like I missed all the good stuff. I could only go to one thing, or this didn't fit my schedule, so I missed everything. So we decided to grow our parent organization into something called Design Portland, which spreads programming out through the year. So we still do that flurry of activity, that festival, but then through the year, we also support community programming as it comes out through the year. We still help them with promotional efforts and amplifying what's going on in the community through the year as well. So that's kind of the translation from Design Week Portland into Design Portland.
Last year was my first year that I got to participate in Design Week. And it, like you said, was amazing. So many different events. I was able to take also my children to a couple of, exhibitions. I was able to take my father-in-law to a couple of open houses. So it really is kind of a little bit for everyone.
Yeah.
Who would you say your community consists mostly of? Like, do you have to be a designer to be part of Design Portland? And tell me kind of the membership model and what that's about.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, I mean, as far as who is a part of our community, like, I think that it's primarily design professionals. It is folks who are working in the design industry currently, across, again, all of the disciplines. So it's industrial design, architecture, interior design, fashion design, graphic design, digital design. I mean, there's really like a huge cross section of what that hits. And most of them are design professionals for sure. But I would say the other side of it is sort of the design enthusiast, which like as I look across our Instagram and I see who's following us and who's keeping up with what we're doing, is people who just appreciate the benefit of design to the world. And so that's a crucial aspect of who our followers are, because as we start rolling out new initiatives, it's not always just skill-based workshops or, here's your professional development piece, or like, here's the newest trend in XYZ design. It really has to do with how design is a problem-solving arm of what happens in the world. And so that audience is really crucial in that, because it's kind of how, not that Portland needs any like convincing, but that's an important element for us, is like, those of you who aren't actually designers, here's how design impacts you, and here's how you can support design to impact things further. So that's how that works. And so the membership model, we've really changed it a little bit we have changed it in the last year. It used to be that it was a hard cost of $5 to participate in the festival, but now we've really pivoted to, it's ultimately, if we want everyone to be a member of Design Portland. So the idea behind it is, if you have an account with Design Portland, you can have and a membership, then you can have a profile in our directory. And then outside of the profile in the inside of that system of the directory, you can see folks who are for hire. You can see folks who are available to mentor. So it's a pretty cool model, because then you get to be connected to different people that you wouldn't normally be connected with. And then you can have that for free. You can pay $25 if you want to donate to the organization, or if you feel that you're going to be posting a lot of events through the year, you can become a power organizer, and then you can pay, I think it's $350, but then that means you get like unlimited postings through the year on our calendar. But with that being said, all of this is changing a little bit with coronavirus. Like, we'll probably be reevaluating that membership model and seeing what folks need and want from it. But that's how it stands now.
Nice. There's been a lot of decisions as far as Design Portland and Design Week is concerned. And I really want to commend you and the rest of the organizers within Design Portland for making the first decision, I feel, in the city of Portland to take your event. First, it was to later in the year, and then ultimately now it's all virtual. So I really want to thank you for having the courage, to say, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to change, and we're trying to be responsible and safe. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about what Design Week this year will look like and how you're pivoting.
Now too. We're changing every day. Well, first, I have to thank our organizers, because we just happen to be surrounded by some very generous and patient organizers in the city who have come along with us for this ride. We did make the call really early to kind of punt it into August, and then we changed to virtual when we realized that, Miss Rona is not going anywhere. So we really, I'll save you all of the back and forth that has gone on between organizers, because we don't just make decisions willy-nilly. We do a lot of surveying of our organizers, and we have a lot of conversations to make sure that we're moving in the right direction. But ultimately, where we've landed is, yes, everything is virtual. For the month of July, we're actually focusing on hosting features for, we're having 3 different people help us curate this month: Mercatus, Joop Joop Creative, and Portland in Color. They're each curating a week of features for us during the month of July, just so that we can really help amplify ultimately Black and brown business owners who really deserve the amplification at this point, have always deserved it, but in this moment especially. And so we'll be doing at least one business or entity or person a day through the month of July we're bringing those folks on to help us curate that. And then we'll pivot to, in the first week of August, we'll have a week of programming. And what we've done is essentially pared back all of the programming to only content that is either hosted by BIPOC organizers or is speaking directly to the impact of diversity on the industry, or how people can be better at that, or something that's focused around social and racial justice. So really we've spent a lot of time curating that and talking to organizers who are kind of like on the border and say, hey, can you pivot your programming to fit this model a little bit better? And I'm really proud and excited of the lineup that we have. I think it will be useful to the community. I don't think it's going to come across, I mean, there are just lots of things that we were putting out before that are glorious programs and so useful to the community in any other moment. But right now I feel like we all have to just, you know, pass the mic, right? Like, and like clear the stage for the folks and for the concepts and for the things that will be most useful to the community in this very specific moment. So that's first week of August. That'll be full of that type of programming. I'm really excited about it.
I'm really excited about it too. I think it's great that you're using your platform and you're using your followers and your community to amplify voices and perspectives that deserve a platform, right? That, you know, it's important to see design in every aspect of it through many, many levels of eyes and, you know, backgrounds. So I'm really excited about the programming. How do we learn more? Is that website, Instagram, all of the above? Are you releasing kind of the names, dates, and times yet? Or is that?
Well, it'll be in just a couple weeks. We're still finalizing all those programs and figuring out what the best platform is for everyone, like how they can best format what they're doing into a virtual space. But two best things are designportland.org. You can go on there and get signed into our mailing list. We send out a newsletter at the most once a week, but usually a little bit less than that. That's where you can get updates, but also our Instagram, Design Week PDX, that's where most of the programming will be at least like pivoted from. You know, you can get to it from Instagram, but that's a good spot. We'll be rolling out all of our announcements there too.
And for anyone who is like, oh my goodness, I know someone, or I have a great idea, is it too late to offer up additional programming or to be added to the schedule?
Yeah, it's too late for this iteration, but with that being said, as we are this parent organization, Design Portland, we're really dedicated to elevating the right programming all of the time. So I always say, get in contact with us and let us know what your ideas are. There also is a chance that some of the programs that will be happening in August might need an additional curatorial voice or an additional speaker or some other level of support. So what you're talking about might link up with what's already happening, so we can broker that connection with you and that organizer to see if there's some alignment. So by all means, like, I'm very difficult to overwhelm, I like to say, so please email me anytime, rachel@designweekportland.com, and you can email me anything, any questions you have or any ideas, and I'm happy to talk all the time. I like to talk.
So do I. I'm so glad that we got the chance to talk today.
Yes.
I'm really excited about the programming. Thank you so much for sharing what's happening with Design Week Portland. It's so important to our design community and our creative community to continue to have the joyfulness of gathering, even though it's virtually, and even more important to talk about the issues at our hand and how we can make things better, or at least, you know, have a conversation. And education is so important. So I really thank you and the rest of the organization.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For having me on. This was fun.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone that attended 10 Minutes with 52 today. We hope to see you soon. Hope to see you at Design Week. And thanks again, Rachel. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.